Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So last week I was playing around with Docker and I decided to create a tutorial from what I was able to learn last week. So in this video, we are going to be Dockerizing an old Python project of mine. It's a simple Flask project. So we will be creating or we'll be Dockerizing that project. Okay, so let's get started with that. So let's see how to Dockerize a Flux project. So this is a project I built sometime last year that uses Gemini AI, and we'll be testing it out once we Dockerize it. So I will just have to make this border. Okay, border so it can be seen very well. And for us to start, we can start by creating a Docker file as Dockerfile and ensure that the D is capital letter D. The Dockerfile is like the configuration of your Dockerization of your Docker project. So we start by defining your Python version. So it's going to be from Python. I'm using 3.11, and then next we set a working directory, and you can set the working directory by doing working directory and the path for our working directory is going to be slash app, sorry, app in small letter. And next we are going to copy our requirements.txt file. Let me just close this. So we're going to copy our requirements.txt file. So it's going to be copy. Now when you do the copy, you should see the source and the destination. So for source is going to be requirements.txt. That is this .txt file here. If you don't have it, you can do pip freeze and you transfer all your installed dependencies or packages from pip freeze to your requirements.txt file. And for this, the destination will just be dots. As it's going to copy the requirements.txt into the working directory. Next, we are going to be installing the requirement.txt. We will be doing run pip install our requirement.txt. So this is the command you use to install dependencies from requirements.txt on your project as via your terminal. After this, next, we are going to copy every single thing here into our working directory. And after that, we would be exposing our ports. So I would want to use ports 8000. And next, we would have to set a command that runs the project. Now, when I was playing around with Dockerfile, I noticed that the command to run the project, I cannot set it like this, and it was a bit confusing for me. And I checked that on, I think, using ChatGPT, and I found out that the best way for you to run a command the best way for you to run a command on your Docker project is by using this. So you have to sort of you have to sort of break down the commands. So Python 3 app.py, because our project is on app.py, and if we would run this normally, we would definitely do Python 3 app.py. So we just have to break the command and put it like this. So this is how you include the command to run your project. Now, so this is this is an easy way for you to do it. If you do docker build /t you should be able to build this. But I would want to show you how to include a Docker Compose YAML configuration. Now, according to the article I read, Docker Compose is mostly used for multi-container projects. And since this is a single container project, it's not needed, but it's a knowledge that is good to know, and I just want to show you how to do that. So still come over here, create your file, Docker Compose YAML. Okay, Docker Compose YAML, and we start by defining the version. So my version will just be version 1 point, and then we have to create the service. So for the service, I will be using the name of the project, Gemini Python, and then I'll be creating a container name. So container name Gemini. Okay, create the image name. So the image is going to be Gemini Python. I just want to use the same name for the container and the image. And then we will not need any volume, so we just have to create the build. And the build, we have to include the context and the Docker file. This Docker file that we created here, it will be included in the Docker Compose. So this is the service. Like I said, Docker Compose is mostly used for multi-container projects, and since this is just a single container, we decided to add this within a container. Okay, so let's build our Docker container and Docker image. So we can do this by saying Docker compose or dash dash build, and ensure that you have Docker installed and your Docker is running. So let me just check if mine is running. It is. Go back here, and then I build. Oh, wait, sorry. Okay, I forgot to include ports. So after this, ports, and I will be using ports 8000 instead of ports 5000. And let's do this again. Terminal Docker companies build. Seems to be doing something very wrong. Oh, I think this should be. Let's try this again. All right. So this might take a while. Okay, well, it did not take that much time. So we just built our Docker compose. Sorry, we just created our Docker container and Docker image. So for us to access it, we can click on this, and it should take us to this. Or let's try localhost 8000, because that is the port that we are using. And of course, this is not found. Our project is on charts, so we can do charts. And this is the project. So let's see if it works. And it works. So this, my dear friends, is how you can create you can Dockerize your Flux project or your Python project. It's as simple as this, and although it took me a while for me to get around this, but this is how you can do this. So thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, like, leave a comment, subscribe, and until next video, bye.